let's go, eh? Yeah, yep. Simon, you want to go that? Hey. Good to see you guys. How you doing? So I reckon we'll gather over here. I'll read out the open letter that we're going to present to Anna and we'll get that done. Hey man, good to see you, bro.
Note yourself. Don't put the address in, put it somewhere else and then come here at last minute.
Yeah.
Have that time.
Yeah. How you doing? We just came here to serve a letter to Anna. We're going to read it out. We're going to go up there and do that and we're going to leave.
Well, unfortunately, you are protesting.
We have a right to protest.
There's a lockdown at the moment. Just so you're aware.
Yeah, we're aware.
So,
United Nations Declaration of Human Rights states you have the right to peaceful public assembly. We are observing the rights today. Righto guys, let's read this one out. This gentleman, police officer over here, just reminded us we're in a lockdown. I reminded him these lockdowns are illegal and we will not obey these lockdowns. So guys, we've got an open letter addressed to the Premier of Queensland, Anastasia Palaszczuk. So dear Premier, regarding COVID-19 pandemic and associated restrictions, I write in representation of the People's Revolution, the TPR community, to raise concerns about the state of current affairs in Queensland. Over the past 12 months, we have been thrown into lockdown at the whim of the government, and we hold grave concerns for the economic and mental health of Queenslanders concerning control measures. I personally hear story after story of people who are concerned about the security of their job and the crashing economy, the skyrocketing suicide rate as a direct result of lockdowns are much higher than the supposed death toll of COVID-19 itself. The rise, check 1, 2. Just bring that speaker out here. Just put it down, let's roll it. The rise in mental health conditions and drug abuse, the low accuracy of PCR testing and asymptomatic cases being used to determine the control measures, the safety of the vaccines and the fact they do not prevent you from contracting or transmitting the virus, whether they and their children will be ostracised from society, discriminated against or unable to partake in certain activities such as work, school, playing sport, travelling, shopping, and entering restaurants, cinemas, sporting venues and concerts without proof of vaccination. Their anxiety to book essential medical treatment through fear of being forced to submit to invasive medical procedures and tests, and reluctance to book any interstate travel through fear of not being able to come back home without being forced to quarantine or submit to invasive medical procedures and tests. There can be no doubt that the measures taken to control COVID-19 in Australia have been some of the most restrictive and oppressive in the world. The negative impacts of these policies must be considered. Indeed, it is like drawing the conclusion that because people die in car crashes, we should ban everyone from driving because it is unsafe. The mere suggestion is absurd, as is requiring healthy people to isolate, wear masks and social distance, as is requiring healthy people to isolate, wear masks and social distance. It doesn't make sense. Think about it. Quarantine is the restriction on the movement of people, animals or goods, which is intended to prevent the spread of disease or pests. It makes zero sense to be isolating healthy people to stop the spread of a virus which they do not have. Think about this, guys, and think about what team you're on. You're going to have to make some hard decisions soon. And we are the people, we're on your team. We've all got families, we're all in this together. This is about oppression and control, nothing else. Think about it, guys. As such, I ask to meet with you to discuss the concerns of the community and seek your justification for these restrictive and oppressive measures, which have proven to be far more devastating than COVID-19 itself. We, the people, whose concerns are represented herein by TPR, request a full inquiry into the management of COVID-19 and respectfully request that you address the below queries within 14 days of the date of this letter. Heading 1 is the virus. Question 1. What are the origins of SARS-CoV-2? In order to prepare for any future outbreaks, the people of the world must have details of how and why this pandemic started. 2. Please provide proof that SARS-CoV-2 exists and that the virus has been isolated and purified, confirming its existence. I have attached 202 pages of Freedom of Information requests. 202 pages of Freedom of Information requests. 60 responses from 47 institutions, including government departments such as the Australian Department of Health and prestigious universities in 10 countries, including Australia, New Zealand, England, Canada, Germany, and America. Not one FOI request has had a response that would suggest SARS-CoV-2 exists. They do not have this data on them. Why is every single one of these establishments, including the Department of Health in Australia, unable to provide proof of the existence of this virus? Heading 2, the pandemic. Question 1. The basis for classifying COVID-19 as a pandemic were the cases and death numbers. Given the questionable accuracy of the PCR test being used for diagnosis and the fact that the deceased did not have to be tested for the cause of death to be listed on the death certificate as COVID-19, let me repeat that part. The fact that the deceased did not have to be tested for the cause of death to be listed on the death certificate as COVID-19. What plans does the government have to review case and death numbers in Australia? Why, with such low fatality rates, lower than that of the seasonal flu, are we still in a state of emergency? And why is the state of emergency being continuously extended against the rules and guidelines set out by your own people? The timing of this lockdown, just two days before the end of Queensland's public health emergency, was set to expire on the 31st of March 2021, raises concerns to the legitimacy of the lockdown. Can you explain if the new cases which have triggered the lockdown were showing signs of illness or if they were simply asymptomatic like the majority of cases? Heading 3, lockdowns and masks. We would like full disclosure of the scientific justification for isolation of healthy people, social distancing and mask wearing, as well as what scientific evidence you have of asymptomatic spread. A surgical mask is designed for a surgeon to wear while operating, so as not... Hey, listen to this one, guys. A surgical mask is designed for a surgeon to wear while operating, so as to not allow saliva to enter the surgical field. These masks that you're wearing, boys, are not designed to stop the spread of a virus, and many studies provide evidence that not only are masks utterly useless at preventing the spread of a virus, but they are in fact a hazard to one's health. Hazards to one's health. Please provide the scientific basis on which you are basing mask mandates. That should interest you guys. You're breathing in microfiber straight into your throat. It's unhealthy. Don't just be obedient for the sake of being obedient. You guys hold a prestigious place in our society. We look up to you guys, protectors of society. Start acting like it and join us. Quarantine is a restriction on the movement of people, animals or goods, which is intended to prevent the spread of disease or pests. It makes zero sense to be isolating healthy people to stop the spread of a virus which they do not have. Please provide us with scientific proof that isolation of healthy people can benefit the health of community. Has there been any analysis of mental health, domestic violence, drug abuse and suicide during 2020 in comparison to previous years? And if so, is the sharp rise in all four of these issues considered justified as just collateral damage? Because when I look at these figures myself, suicide has surpassed the apparent death toll of COVID-19 by many, many times. So why are we killing our own people over something that's, if exists, as mild as the flu? Has there been any analysis, I've already said that, didn't I? Has the impact of lockdowns on small business been considered, and are there plans to compensate suffering and closed businesses? They're smashing our economy. The next heading is treatments. Hydroxychloroquine was previously unrestricted in Australia. Highly qualified medical doctors from around the world have issued sworn affidavits which claim extremely high rates of success in both preventing and treated COVID-19 with hydroxychloroquine. This is backed by hundreds of scientific studies. Why has this drug, which is considered safe and effective by the medical community, been banned for treatment of COVID-19 patients and restricted after the beginning of the pandemic? Why has ivermectin not been approved for treating COVID-19 patients? This drug has been successfully used around the world in the treatment of COVID-19 patients, and Dr. Tess Laurie, Director, Evidence-Based Medicine Consultancy, who makes recommendations to the United States National Health Services and the World Health Organization itself, has put forward recommendations to the UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson, is it Don Johnson himself, to urgently approve the use of ivermectin in the treatment of COVID-19 patients. Again, there are many scientific studies to back the safety and efficacy of ivermectin. Why has the National COVID-19 Clinical Evidence Task Force cherry-picked which studies to review, seemingly to dismiss the significant benefits of the drugs treating COVID-19? Now the next heading, guys, is vaccines. Given the fast-tracked and largely untested COVID-19 vaccine, which is actually experimental mRNA gene therapy injection, has not been proven to stop people contracting or transmitting the virus, and the unknowns around the long-term risk associated with the vaccine. How has the government assessed the true risks and benefits of these COVID-19 vaccines? Seeing at least 15 countries suspend the AstraZeneca vaccine for potential safety risks, seeing at least 15 countries around the world have already suspended the AstraZeneca vaccine for potential safety risks and deaths, why has Australia allowed this largely untested vaccine to be continued to be used on our people? Should it not be suspended until further studies can be completed to ensure its safety? Why have the vaccines been given provisional approval when it has not been confirmed that they will not cause autoimmune disease or antibody-dependent enhancement, as noted in the TGA's provisional approvals? What pathways will be available to those injured by the vaccines to be compensated for damages? Why have COVID-19 vaccine manufacturers been given exemption from liability?
They're trying to kill us all!
If you purchase a brand new vehicle, drive it 500 metres and it blows up and kills you, the vehicle manufacturer will be liable. If you receive the COVID-19 injection and it kills you, which has already been the case in many, many times, the vaccine manufacturer is not liable. Why is this? Is this because this injection is unavoidably unsafe? What measures will be put in place to ensure that the people who do not want the vaccines, either now or in the future, are not discriminated against, either by government agencies or private companies? Will the media be encouraged to report on deaths and injuries from the vaccines as they have been encouraged to report on cases and deaths from COVID-19? If reporting of vaccine damage is to be suppressed, as it has been in the past, please advise why. I welcome a meeting with you to further discuss these issues. For too long, the government has sat separately from the people and has refused to provide open and honest answers to our concerns. I appreciate that we are in a challenging and unique time in history and hope that we can work together to discuss and address the concerns of our community. I look forward to hearing your response to these concerns raised by the community. Should you wish to arrange a convenient time to meet in person, please contact me. That's it for the letter. Let's see if we can get it delivered. Hey?
Assistance.
Yeah, come. Just going to take this up to Anna's office and hand it over. And is it locked? Is it? When did it lock down?
Well, when everyone started coming here.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, so,
They followed the plan. I told them not to come too early.
so what's the fee? You want to hand that over to?
I do, yeah.
Give us 5 and we'll see what.
All right. No worries, thank you.
Thank you.
Sarge.
Couple of words to the people.
Yeah.
There you go.
We'll meet again. How's
Dan
things?
O'Connor, City Police.
Oh, I know who you are, Dan.
I know who you are too, Treddy. But is this a letter for the?
Yeah, I want to hand this to the Anna or her office.
Oh, mate.
Why?
Won't be handed to them. I can provide it in there, give it in there. At the moment, you're in breach of the Cho direction. You're away from your home in relation to.
Can you show me where I'm not allowed to travel a certain distance?
No, there is no distance in
That's
relation
right.
to the direct.
So I'm doing nothing wrong.
What are you doing? What's your purpose for being here today?
Exercising my rights,
Exercising your rights.
eating, shopping, and at the end of the day, none of this is legal, so we don't have to really pay attention to any of it. And this is what we're here to do. Hand this letter to her.
Mate, well,
Once we get that done, we'll leave peacefully and go.
Well, you won't be.
Why is that?
Because she's not coming down because of the Cho direction are that the reasons that you are allowed to be out and about in the lockdown is that exercise, for work for essential purposes. Look, pretty.
This is essential, very essential for your future, for your family too.
I'm happy to have a conversation with you here.
Yeah.
Happy for this lady to record it, but yelling over the top of me while I'm having a conversation, that's not really.
Yeah.
That's not.
No worries,
That's
no
not
worries.
even polite, mate.
Just keep it down, guys. We'll have discussion.
We're just having a discussion.
So what I'm trying to tell you is these restrictions are unlawful. We don't pay attention to them
I
because they are
acknowledge-
unlawful. The Biosecurity Act 2015 states this in itself. So your own law actually says what you're doing now is
I'm not
enforcing
I'm not
mask
here to
mandates.
to debate that,
Okay.
the Cho direction at
Yep.
the moment. What you're telling me is you want to give a piece of paper to Anastasia
Yes, correct.
Kalisha.
Or her,
That's-
or her office.
Well, no one from her office is coming down to take the piece of paper. You know
Give
me?
them you got the number. You want to give them a quick call?
Okay. So, are we having? Are you and I having a conversation or having a conversation?
Or just speak to my friend. I'm like, you can speak to your man. I'll speak to my man. Oh, okay, you're right. Yeah.
So what I'm saying to you is the 4 reasons for you to be away from your home during the lockdown period is essential employment, exercise.
I know the reasons that are stated.
Yeah. Okay.
We
so
don't
you
agree.
understand.
We don't agree with them either.
That,
Yeah.
And mate, I understand that. So you acknowledge the reasons you don't agree with them. Okay. So what I'm saying to you is, you've finished speaking. You've got the piece of paper. I'm giving you undertaking. I will present it to the Premier. Okay, or office.
No.
Okay.
We want to get this.
If you continue to remain here doing what is a protest,
Yeah.
or
It's not a-
as you said, exercising your right.
It's not a protest.
exercising in inverted
It's not a
commas.
protest.
Well, it's a group of people that are here exercising their right to not acknowledging.
Yeah, we're
show direction.
physically exercising too. So can you arrest me for physically exercising?
Well, you weren't physically arrested.
I am now though. So if you arrested me, you should have done it already.
Okay. So what I'm saying to you is you'll be subject to arrest in relation to it, and then
Under what? Sorry?
Fail to comply with the show direction.
Okay. Are you an authorised officer?
Yes.
No, you're not.
Okay. So
Under Biosecurity Act 2015, police officers are not authorised officers.
for you to get a process going,
Yeah.
we have to go through the court process which we're already going through.
Yeah.
But I deal with people professionally. I'm
Yeah.
talking to you as a person.
Yeah.
You don't agree with it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you what the law is that I'm enforcing.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's the
So
thing.
there you
That's
go.
right. It's not a law.
It's a direction.
So we have to use the right terminology here
Okay,
too.
that's right.
Right.
You're going to be subject to getting tickets, and if these people remain here, then they'll be subject to be arrested, and then we'll deal with it by ticket.
Yep.
Mate, if you want to facilitate change from your position, we have to do something, because
What
all
is
that
the
happens
problem?
out of this is you and I having a conversation which doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah. Why is there a problem with me giving a piece of paper to an office that is willing to accept pieces of papers from other people?
Buildings in lockdown because of the fact, or restricted access because they perceive a threat. Okay, so that's what it is. Mate, the paperwork's not going anywhere, as in someone's not coming down to take it. So what's going to happen is, if you fail to disperse, you told me that you want to do it.
Well, we both want this to go smoothly. Is that correct?
Mate, I want an outcome.
Yep.
Where
So
we
the
can
building
do-
might be in lockdown. Why can't you request someone to come down through the door and hand it to them that
We're
way?
not doing it.
Why though?
We're not doing it.
Is it because you don't want to work with me here to achieve a
Trudy,
good outcome for us both?
I want to work with you, but what I'm saying to you is you're disobeying a show direction at the moment. You and I have had multiple
Just wait here.
conversations.
I just want to show you something.
No,
It'll be
mate, what I'm
a
saying-
minute. Just wait there. You know JB Hi-Fi is open today? Must be some pretty hardcore pandemic going through when you have shops like JB Hi-Fi open and shit. This is what we're, stuff like this. It's really inconsistent. All you want is some answers. It's a simple letter. I know you boys had nothing to do with this, we're just saying. Hey.
I'm Inspector Lynn Asher,
How you
in charge
doing?
of the City Central Patrol Group. Look, I guess basically that I'm happy to have a chat to you.
Yeah.
It's obviously hard when people are yelling.
Yeah, that's not.
And I understand what you want to do. The only thing I can do is ask
Yeah,
to
please,
see if someone's
yeah.
willing.
Yep.
I guess in doing so, if the answer is no, what's your next step?
If the answer's no, then we might get one of you.
We're happy to
Dan
take
said
it
you'll
if
take
the
it up.
answer's no.
But I'd rather give to them in person,
Yeah, of course.
and we'll take it from there.
Yeah, okay.
But-
But I guess I'm stepping out to do something for you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
And I'd like an undertaking from you what your next step is.
Yep.
Because ultimately,
If you can get this
hang on,
right.
unless people have a legitimate reason to be out of their residence,
Yep.
then they may be in breach of the show direction.
Understood.
So the last thing we want to do is to we understand your cause, but if I'm going to take some action, I want to undertake.
Yep,
it from
that's
you
fair enough.
that you'll do something
If you can get someone to come down and can receive this letter from us,
Yeah.
we'll disperse. We'll peacefully we'll leave.
If they won't, and
Yeah.
the next step is for you to give it to me and you'll disperse, will
Yeah.
that be the
Well,
case?
so is it true that this building is locked down? We can't actually
To a friend now and ask you a
Could you
quick
just ask
question.
him to step away
Sam
for a
from the
second?
Premier's office.
just run it past them. What's
Oh, g'day.
this?
Sorry. So, I mean, if they're getting onto someone and someone's coming down, that's fantastic. We can resolve this pretty quickly.
So, at the end of the day, it's just a piece of paper. So I'll go back one step. Is this building locked down? Is it?
Yes.
Or is it open to the public at the
No,
moment?
it's locked down.
Okay. Now,
Ultimately, the city is in lockdown, so they're protecting themselves from.
you got places like JB Hi-Fi that are open today. How serious can this pandemic be if we've got electric wood shops open for the public to enter?
That's something that we can have a look at after
That's just one very small tip of the
Okay.
iceberg. This whole thing is covered in inconsistencies.
Okay, let's just
Right.
talk about you and
Yeah,
this
yeah.
situation
So
here
there's
for
no
now.
Yep.
representative.
So let me ask that question,
Yep.
but then I have to say to you, you give your undertaking that if no one comes down, and I will do my best to get someone, because I think that's a great way to resolve
How do I know
it.
you're holding me up here at the bargain? You can just go in there, have a coffee and come back and say,
You
I don't know. Who want to come up with you?
And that's fair. No, I can't do that.
Why?
I won't let you in the building.
He won't. You're the police, it's up to you.
No,
Hey,
They can let in whoever they
how about we
want.
do it this way? I'll walk with you, social distance. We'll go hand deliver this ourselves. We'll walk. Everyone's the person as we go home. No
I'll
more
ask
trouble.
the question whether they're happy for that.
Yes, that'd be brilliant. That'd be
And
brilliant.
if they're happy for that,
Yep.
to allow you alone into
have
the
police
building
officers.
to hand it to someone
Yep.
while everyone else is out. If that's the, will you then ask the crowd to go home and comply with the
Out of all of our other events, we always come to negotiation with the police. I've been over backwards for these Chris Bird and
Yeah.
Stan before. We always are able to come to some sort of agreement. We have 10,000 people sometimes in the city.
Yeah, I know.
It's a lot of
but
people.
We're in lockdown, Tristan.
Yeah.
It's a little bit higher level.
Well, we don't agree with this. And this all we want to do is hand deliver this letter and we're going to go home.
Okay, well, I'll go and ask the question as to whether A, they'll let someone take the piece of paper,
Yep.
B, that you'll be able to come in alone with us
Yep.
into the building,
Yep.
and then from there on you'll disperse.
No worries.
Is that
Sounds
fair?
perfect.
Okay, thank you.
So she's just going to find out if we can hand deliver the letter ourselves. After we do that, I've promised them that we are going to disperse and go back home. So this is the mission today, is just to get this done.
The suburb again was Witches. City, it's fantastic.
So when we arrived at about 11:15, this building was open.
Yeah, they locked it down because you guys came too early and foiled our plan.
We did disappear. Sorry about that. Yeah, so
Wait, guys, a note for next time. The only reason why this building's locked down is because people were congregating here too early and they shut it down. If we had just come the other thing, we probably could have got up there and done it. But keep it in your head, guys. Is got to be tactful about the way we do things, eh?
it's a learning curve.
A learning curve for everyone, correct? Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about the movement?
Oh, it's just an organic movement that's arisen from pretty see-through. Like, look outside. There's no one dying on the street. There's no one getting sick. The only pandemic is when you turn your TV on and watch these lying mainstream media outlets. There is no pandemic. All you do is look, open your eyes and have a look. There's more deaths from the flu every year. Less deaths from this over, we'll say it's 15 months. Suicide has overtaken the amount of people that have died from COVID. All these signs aren't being addressed, and all we are simply we're presenting a letter for the Premier of this state to address our concerns as the Australian public, and hopefully she can do that for us and we can have some answers.
I heard smoking killed 3,400 people last year.
Yeah, accidental. You know, accidental falls killed about 4,500 people last year from falling off ladders and roofs and stuff like that.
Smoking kills 21 million people.
So what you got 900 deaths from COVID. Not much of a pandemic.
But the good thing about COVID is we've cured cancer and pneumonia.
How you doing?
Isn't that amazing?
What's your rank, Inspector? Yeah, not too bad. Just wanted to check your rank out.
I'm an RDO.
You got all the fancy hats. No one else has got them.
I'm an RDO.
What's that?
I'm an RDO.
What's that? Yeah.
A regional commander.
Okay. Yeah. What's that involved?
A lot of coffee drinking.
Donut eating, coffee drinking, is it? This is all we come for. Hands flat over, we're going home.
Yeah. Did the other inspector get a copy of that to take in, or is she just asking?
No, she's asking if she can escort me up there, and then yeah.
Have you been down here before for this sort of thing?
No.
I've been in and out of this role now for about 10, 12 years.
Yeah.
I don't know about the current government. What would normally happen is they'd normally say no, and but give you the opportunity of handing it to
Right.
security officers who'd run it upstairs.
Yeah.
That's normally what
Yeah.
happens, mate.
How do we determine if that has been done? You know, we have no way of telling if he's actually he could have just got in there, chucked it in the bin. You know, we don't know.
Yeah, if those arrangements put in place, mate.
Yeah.
I've just, run and they said so.
Look, honestly, these guys upstairs in their mailroom upstairs, they've actually had white powder sent to them in the mail before, all that sort of thing, you know. So
How do you test that one out?
get the fireys in.
Why is he smiling under his mask?
They get the sniffer dogs. They pass away. Honestly, as you can touch it.
No, I haven't done anything like this before, but we've been doing events since the start of last year.
Yep.
Just because of all these inconsistencies with this whole pandemic, nothing seems right. We do believe there is ulterior motives behind it all. We're standing for our families and future generations. That's what we're here for.
You've got to understand what's going on.
On the inside as well.
Nothing to say I don't. I'm here to make sure everyone's safe.
We're not here to do anything
Despite
stupid.
all the pickling I'm getting from the lady at the back of the car.
Well, they calling you.
I know, right? It's all good. We're all people.
They're asking for your number.
We're all people.
They're asking for your number. The old girls at the back.
Guys, we're all people, guys. That's it. We're not here. We're just here to. The war has to.
the inspector Ace, the lady that you're talking to, she's in charge, mate. So
Right.
you're probably, you've gone straight to the top, so. She's,
Same level as you, same station, or?
no, different command.
Right. Different field, sort
So
of thing.
imagine having a big company,
Hmm.
you got 2 field agencies, and you got 2 people at the same rank.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I was
Same sort of thing.
floating through. I heard what was going on, so I popped in.
Yeah. Fair enough.
But I'll
Fair enough.
defer to her. She's in charge.
Yeah, we've had some pretty big events, eh? 7,000, 8,000 people. We always come to terms with the Chris Bird or Dan.
Yeah.
We always negotiate something. We get it done peacefully and go home. That's all it's about. We don't want any sort of trouble.
No, Dan's good to deal with wherever he is.
Have you read through this, man? Biosecurity Act 2015. Have you had a look at that at all?
Oh, mate, we go to courses all the time,
Yeah.
So.
In and out.
Lindsay, we go.
So they're just asking, because the building is in lockdown,
Yep.
they're just asking for someone to come
Yep.
down and whoever. I have specifically outlined that I want to know who that person is.
Right. For them. Yeah.
Whoever is going to come down, if someone is going to come down. So tell me who they are, so that at least you know
They're from that
who it
office.
is.
Yeah, perfect. Appreciate that.
But because most people are working from home,
Mm.
there's no guarantees. So
Yeah.
I just want to come out briefly, tell you where we're at.
Yep.
As soon as I know something, I'll come and let
Yeah,
you
cool.
know.
Now, why was this building locked down? Do they have something to do with us, or was it already?
Well, it's generally locked down, but no, the building has gone into lockdown for community safety reasons.
Because after people turned up here. No worries, okay. All right, catch you later.
I'll see you later, Liz. If you need anything, mate, just call.
No worries.
So just checking to see if they're going to come down, and once we do that, we'll be able to take it in there or not.
Can we just get people to social distance, mate?
I think you had your answer there.
Well, that's fine, mate. Well, then ask your people
Yep.
to stay away from my people, because what it does is it puts people at risk, okay?
If you believe so, I'll do that to them. That's fine. Do you get this nervous in the flu season as well? Because the flu takes more lives than COVID.
I get nervous whenever we're pretty.
It's a hard man in a hard job. Well, you're fair at times, mate.
Fair and handsome. What was that about, Christian? What's the updates on?
They're just checking to see if one of these ladies from Anna's office will come down,
Excellent.
and she's just trying to find out her name, so when she gets down here, we can actually be sure of who it is. Talk about social distancing, eh? Keep our people away from their people because they're worried about social distancing. But don't provoke them.
Yeah, someone's written down.
If people want to leave and go home, by all means.
I don't think I can ask them, but I don't think they want to go until the. I don't think they were going to go until they see the outcome of this. Anyway. Are you still waiting to get confirmation from the office, are you?
Chase up.
Okay. Have you heard of a document called Cops for COVID Truth down from New South Wales?
I've heard about it.
Have you
So
ever read?
Last assembly had the park.
Have you had a read yet?
No, it's not on that website anymore.
Which website was it on? I was going to bring them down, I forgot all about it.
I got told a website now, I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, right.
It's like,
I'll chuck it on mine when you get time. It's the peoplesrevolution.com.au. I'll put it under info. Have a read, man. It'll be interesting for you.
it was on something else. A lady told me another.
Yeah.
It was like a random .org, something like
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know what that one was. But it's just because the Sydney police were getting asked to do some pretty heavy-handed techniques with the civilians, and they weren't very comfortable with what they were being asked to do. So they wrote some letters in, and this is what you guys need to get prepared for, because it will get that way soon, because things are becoming more oppressive, and people are going to keep rising up and go against it. So hard decisions are going to be made soon. Well, yeah, we're still waiting around. The police have been pretty good. They're going up to check if one of the ladies is going to come down from the office, and she's come back now to give some information.
There is someone to speak to you.
Yep.
Happy to speak to you.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah,
Her
awesome.
name is Denise,
Yep.
and she's the Deputy Chief of Staff to the Premier.
Deputy Chief of Staff. Right.
Okay.
So Deputy Chief of Staff has agreed to come talk to us, so that's really good.
No, she hasn't come and talked to you.
So
Just
you're
to
going to come in to
clarify.
That's fair enough. Yeah, that's fair enough.
So she's going to receive that letter.
Yep.
And she's not going to answer questions.
No, that's fine. All I want you to do is give it to her, and as long as she gives it to the Premier, we'll be happy.
Yeah, mate, which she said she'd do.
Cool.
In the interest of moving things along,
Yep.
Pretty,
Yep.
if we do it,
Yep.
like we walk in this door,
Yep.
you're there, then you've got your photo opportunity through the glass, but I can't, I don't want to move my police into protected building.
What do you suggest happens? We go in through here.
We go into a door and then we move in between those two things, so all these people can stand there and observe the whole thing,
Yeah,
videotape,
that's
do all
fine.
that sort of thing.
Beautiful.
So you're in and out, done.
Appreciate it.
But we'd just like them to move away from where this door is. So we want to take you through this
door, right.
And we want to know that we can safely walk back out.
Of course you can.
So we're asking.
So is where they're standing now fine, or that you want to
past that
past that
doorway,
round thing there?
so they can access
Right.
the central area.
Hey guys, listen up, guys. We've got the Deputy of Staff coming down to meet me and accept these papers. The police have negotiated this for us, so I'd like to thank them. But also, in terms of safety, they just want to know everyone's going to be safe, so we're going to ask you to just move down past this round door here, just move on the far side of that, and you can observe through the windows and we'll get this done.
And then from once you've handed that on,
Yep.
you'll tell your people to go home and comply
No, we're
with
going to have a
the
party here.
directions.
Just look at the window.
Thank you. All right. So can you get the gentleman to just move away?
Yeah, no worries. Hey Wayne, you want to grab?
You want to grab the speaker?
I'll grab one.
Do you want to hold that one when you head in?
Yeah, okay.
No, mate, just anyway, we'll be in there hopefully in a very short period
Yeah,
of
we'll
time.
be quick. Thanks for organising that. Appreciate it.
Here to help, Pretty.
What got into you? You weren't helping me at the start. Something changed your mind.
Mate, I've been doing it for 32 years. I help a lot of people. As do you. Your profile for the guy.
How you doing?
Hi, good.
My name is Tristan. On behalf of the people standing outside in our greater community, we'd like to ask you if you could present this to Anastasia on our behalf and have these questions answered for us. It will
Okay.
relieve some of our concerns if that can be done.
Okay, I'll pass it on to the.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Hey guys, for the future, eh? Get it done. Thanks, guys. So, thanks for coming out, guys. It took some balls and courage to do that. The police have been more than helpful today. They've left us alone. So this is the type of behaviour from police to expect, and it gives me hope that we can go forward. They'll respect us, we respect them, we can. So part of the deal of doing that was now we disperse. We came to do that. Our mission's complete. Let's go home and enjoy the afternoon, and we'll see what Anna comes back with, hey?
Thank you.
That's right. Thanks, eh?
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for offering that to us. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. So just all I can say to you is that I need you to comply with the show direction. I understand you disagree with it,
Yep.
but any future action, as with this action, is a breach unless you have a reasonable excuse under that direction.
We're already going to trial in July. I have to stand by my beliefs, so
It's okay, that's right,
Yep.
as long as you understand where we're coming from.
I
and that we've
comprehend
outlined
that.
it's a breach.
Yep.
Okay.
Thanks, Dan. Catch you later. Thanks, boys. See you. Cheers, mate. Thanks for coming, man.
Gary, interested?
I got it done.
Exactly. Oh my God.
Awesome.
Thank you. Thanks for coming down, guys. Thank you. Text me a photo of yourself. Alright, guys. Let's get out of here. Yeah. Hey.
Thank you.
What's that?
Oh, you're just getting around and telling me what to do.
It doesn't help the cause though, eh?
No, we have some men with big sets.
Hey man, thanks for coming down.
Thank you.
Thanks, bro. Jesus. Hey, Bo. Thanks for joining us. Eh?
Thank you. Thanks for today.
Can I take a photo of you? Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
Send it to my friend. Good job today, man. It's good. Yeah, well done.
Thanks, bro. Thanks for coming. Talk you soon, eh?
Yeah.
It's a pretty if I can help you anyway your movement.
Yep.
Financially or any other way.
Yep.
I actually have it in your list. But please let me know if anything you
Will
want.
do, bro. Appreciate the support.
I've been here any demonstration.
Yeah.
I will be here to the information about what's the vaccine really.
Yeah. See, all that stuff in between. That's what we need everyone doing, man. Going out there, talking to people, handing out info, talking to your friends and family, talking to your work colleagues. Just wake them all up, because if two people are doing, nothing happens, man. If every single person does it.
Look at how many people turned up last time.
Yeah, massive, you know. So everybody bring one more person next rally, and it'll be 10,000, 15,000, 20,000. Yeah. Awesome.
Thanks for today.
Yeah, thanks for being part of it, bro. Eh? Thanks, brother. Thank you.
How do we help you? Like, how do we get involved in this kind of stuff?
So.
I just wanted to encourage if you can encourage.
Oh yeah, we are. Thanks. Yeah. But it, thank you.
We had a win.
Yeah, we'll see how
I
we
hope
go.
that wasn't the cleaner. All right.
But I'll try and start something. So if you do want to do it, help in a certain way.
Like even donations, man.
Yeah. Well, you know, resources. To do anything in this world, you need resources. So you know, from time to time, I ask for money. Like I asked for money to get the those trolleys to put the speakers on and stuff like that. You know.
I'm happy to give you.
Yeah. So just keep an eye out for the emails. When you sign up, there's a slot there that it asks for what you can help in. You know, what do you want to volunteer your time for, whatever it may be, security specialist or this. Right?
I might just re-sign.
Re-sign up, do it properly, man. Yeah. Put in your real details. You don't need full address, just a postcode, then we know where you are. Stay in touch, guys. Appreciate it. Hey, thanks. Thank you. Thanks for coming and making the numbers up. Good to see you, man. Yeah, good, man. Good. Hey, brother. Thanks, you.
Because this is a super
Thank you for coming in
spreader
and being part of it.
event. Super spreader hug event.
Super spreader.
Oh, the super spreader event.
That was a wet one too, man.
Another tongue.
Hello. Good to see you. Thank you for the support. Thanks, Sue. Good to see you.
You're awesome.
While they're giving them out, come on, line up.
Because no one advertised it on Facebook.
No.
So if you get an email, you get a text message.
Talk later. No, but there was still. But there was.